It's time for live coverage of the Memorial Day service from the Courthouse Square in Kennett, Missouri. The following sponsors make our live stream broadcast possible: Glen Sane Motors, the Law Office of Todd and Atwill, Nick Darter for Dunklin County Sheriff, Darren Todd for Circuit Judge, Joe Bryant for Pemiscot County Sheriff, David Greer for District 1 Pemiscot County Commissioner, Billy Joe Stanfield for Pemiscot County Sheriff, Powell Funeral and Cremation Services, Rob Mayer, Circuit Judge, 35th District, and by Family Automotive in Kennett. And now, our live broadcast of the Memorial Day service from the Courthouse Square in Kennett, Missouri.
Wheels up. Good morning, everybody. We're getting ready to start here just in a minute, but I want to do some thanking some people. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. Hey, want to thank several of our citizens. I seen the mayor here. I seen the county commissioner here. I seen several officers here. And I'd be remiss in my duties if I didn't thank them. I see our sheriff that's getting ready to retire. And he's been a wonderful sheriff. And very grateful to know him and met him. And he's been kind to every citizen in Dunklin County. I remember him going to the hospital, him and his father. And he wasn't sheriff then, so he did it out of kindness. But he still tries to go to the nursing homes, and he's tried to take care of people from Dunklin County. And I'd be remiss before we start if I didn't say something about him. So if I can get our guest speaker and the pastor to come forward. Yeah, you sit up here with me, Colonel. We've had a couple of, I'm going to be real respectful. I started to say we've had a couple of colonels. This is what I started to say, and I won't say it during the program. I said we've had some colonels here before, but we've never had a colonel that looked that nice. Come over here, Frank. Sit down. We're here today to give full and appropriate honor to those Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice so the rest of us could live under our God-granted freedoms that we cherish so much. In World War I, they were 65 Dunklin Countyans made the ultimate sacrifice. In World War II, our greatest generation, and there's 1% still alive. I don't know if there's a World War II veteran out there, but if there are, please raise your hand, and every one of us needs to come see you. World War II, they were 129 who made the ultimate sacrifice. In the Korean War, they were 24. In the Vietnam War, they were 25. And we're here today to show them full and appropriate honor. And I'm very glad to see this many people here in attendance. Our invocation here will be given by VFW Chaplain Frank Huster.
Please remove your hats. Let us pray. God, we come before you on this day, and we remember the sacrifice of those that gave their lives for our nation's cause from Dunklin County. We give you thanks for them, for their sacrifice. God, we give you thanks for their willingness to step up into action. We give you thanks. But God, we would be remiss without remembering those lives that were affected by their loss, the families that were affected, Lord, the ones that were left behind, and the long-term impact of that on their lives. God, we give you thanks for them. We ask that you continue to comfort them, continue to watch over them, continue to care for them. And God, as we come before you, we also remember even now the people that are guarding the gates of our freedom right now. And we give you thanks for them. We give you thanks for their willingness to serve also. And God, we give you thanks for our great country and the freedoms we have. And we give you thanks for all these things in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
We have a special guest speaker this year. Many of you may not know, but she was raised in Kennett. She served her country for approximately 29 years. She knows the true meaning of duty, honor, and country. And it is indeed my honor to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Tina Marcias. Would you come forward, Colonel? Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Thank you for that warm and truly honorable introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends, and family, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for the honor of speaking with you. I'd also like to thank Sheriff Bob Holder, the mayor, and all of you all for your presence at today's event. I'd like to start by taking a moment to recognize our Gold Star families. Ma'am, and those among us today who are honoring a loved one and have lost and paid the ultimate sacrifice. You are at the forefront of our minds as we all take the time to remember your service member and their devotion and dedication to our nation. As their family, we thank you for their sacrifices you have made to support them in our country. Memorial Day was first recognized in 1868 as Decoration Day over 150 years ago, which is traced back to the roots of an order sent by General John Logan. General Logan, the leader of a Union veterans organization and congressman, in a letter made in a case and set the precedent for a holiday in memory of soldiers who died to preserve the Union and break the chains of slavery. He challenged his fellow Americans to let no vandalism of avarice or neglect, no ravages of time, testify to the present, to the coming generations that we have forgotten. As a people, the present of freedom and cost an undivided republic, to an undivided republic. A cost many willingly and bravely paid in the rocky fields of Gettysburg, the rain-sodden roads of hilltops in service to the Union, and in a cause in freedom in Shiloh, along the banks of Antietam, in countless fields, villages, and roads and hilltops in service to the Union and the causes of freedom. Although Decoration Day is the official origin of our modern day Memorial Day, it is not its sole inspiration. Originally a nationwide day of remembrance for the Civil War veterans who died during the war, the days was marked by decorating their graves with flowers, which we all kind of do today. After World War I, the holiday evolved to honor and recognize all American military personnel who died in all wars. Then in 1968, Congress established Memorial Day as the last Monday in May, declaring it a federal holiday. For many around the country, the holiday is a chance to gather, hold parades and picnics, which many of you will leave here today in honor. This marks the unofficial start to summer. But for us, gathered here today, it means so much more. Today we recognize and remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, and we honor those left behind. We are humbled by your sacrifice, inspired by your resilience, and grateful for your continued service in this community, our community. As we take this day to remember the fallen and stand in solidarity with their loved ones, it is also an opportunity to honor all across our country who gave their lives for our freedom and our liberty. We are reminded of the true meaning of Memorial Day: service, sacrifice, and honoring the legacy that lives on from those that made the ultimate sacrifice or gave the ultimate sacrifice. Our nation's military members serve for a variety of reasons, but at the core of every service member lies the same two main reasons. One, love of country. Two, a desire to be part of something bigger than oneself. I come from a line of men and women who have chosen to serve. Some of them are in the crowd today. It's a point of pride for me to have followed in those footsteps. My father, Willie James Wallace, was one of many Marines from Kennett, Missouri, to serve in Vietnam, But I was fortunate he came home. Many did not return, such as PFC Jimmy Dale Moody, Spec 4 Frankie Leon Priest, and a host of other honorable loved ones. Each generation we can find on these walls of family members that has served its country has done so not only for love of country, but to ensure the future of this nation. It is one they are proud of and one that is better for those they leave behind. Their impact on my trajectory and career path, as well as the legacy they have left behind, is one of tremendous importance. There is acts of service, just like those we honor today, have laid the foundation for those of us who follow to make the world we live in a better place for future generations. Benjamin Disraeli once said, "The legacy of heroes is the memory of a great name and the inheritance of a great example." The heroes we honor today have left a legacy and an example. It is up to each one of us to continue in the footsteps they leave behind. So I ask you, what will your legacy be? Those who came before, those who we honor, weren't afraid to step out and fight to defend our country. They fought and sacrificed because they wanted to make a difference. They wanted to be a catalyst for change in the future of America. I challenge you to stand, to be a blazing light and a beacon of ferocious tenacity. I challenge you to follow the example of these heroes, to set your own path, create your own legacy, to create a path full of hope and opportunity for those who come behind you. In closing, I'll leave you with words from President John F. Kennedy. He said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." I suspect that many of us, there is not a day that goes by where we don't remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice. I remember Sergeant First Class Rocky Herrera. We served as drill sergeants together and deployed to Afghanistan together. Rocky did not return. I remember Staff Sergeant Mickey Zahn, all 6'7" of him. Mickey did not return. I remember Staff Sergeant Burgess and his love of his soldiers, his wife, his children. He did not return, and there are a host of others. America has become a beacon of hope and freedom around the world through time. Let us all strive to keep the memory of those who have fallen alive through memorials such as this, but also through our actions. Let us keep their memory alive by passing on the meaning of today and the importance of service and sacrifice for future generations. Thank you again for having me. It has been a privilege and an honor. Our remarkable heroes together with you here at my home and the place where I was raised. I hope you enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. God bless you all. God bless America.
Good job. I appreciate it. You sit where you want to, ma'am. I want to challenge you to do one thing. Before you leave today, I want you to walk over to the monument, the tallest columns, and look. Find a name and remember that name for 1 year. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again next year. Walk up there next year, pick a name, and remember, she said some names. Frankie Priest, Tommy White, Bogart Floyd were people I knew. And I'm very grateful to have known them. I'm very grateful to have known the World War II veterans that I've been associated with in my life. To me, our greatest generation. I'm very grateful for the veterans here to help today. I'm going to scan and look around. See one from the United States Navy who's also decided to serve the Lord. I see one Silver Star winner, the third highest medal that you can receive in the United States military. If I'd asked him to take his shirt off, you'd see 5 bullet holes in him. I won't ask him to do that. I see a tank commander who got his eye put out in 1968 during the Tet Offensive. I see another soldier who has a bullet in his back. He wears it every day of his life. It's too close to everything to remove it, but he does pretty well. He has his business, he raises his family, and he knows the true meaning, like I said before, of duty, honor, country. Now, I'm going to ask Toby Jordan and Adeline Shear, the Patriots Pen winner from Kennett Middle School. Very articulate. And if her daddy and them don't mind me saying so, she sure is a pretty young lady sitting out there. She's a leader. If I tell some of these veterans about who got shot, who gave the order, it won't go very far. Because they're like me, they're on the outskirts of life. And that's the way life is. But if we tell a middle school student who won the Patriots Pen and told about our country, and we show her about Memorial Day, and you see her stand there, they'd be 50, 60 years. And people say, although others may laugh and jest, a life of service is the best, and happiness will always be to those who serve humanity. And she'll spread that for 50, 60 years. We're counting on it. I seen her, a former principal back there. The middle school in Kennett, the veterans have been going to the middle school for over 30 years. Over 30 years. And some of them are so articulate, it's hard for me to talk to them. But if I could get y'all to stand, they're going to replace the wreath. We have pictures of those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Toby Jordan and her. If you don't, they're going to back it up a little bit and put it close to the pictures. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. If I could get Harry, another veteran, sound taps. Present, ho! Order up! Ho! Retrieve the colors. Present! Ho! Order! Ho! Folding the flag is combat veteran Staff Sergeant Jimmy Ingram. Holding the flag is Tank Commander Freddie Greenway. The end soldier is the one with a bullet in his back. One of the finest machine gunners I ever saw. Sergeant Doug Washburn. If I get Toby and Miss to move forward and receive the flag and lay it at the pictures of those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Veterans, present, ho! Order up! Ho! Take your seats, please. That concludes our Memorial Day service. Don't forget your challenge. Let us hold in honored memory those brave men and women from Dunklin County who made the ultimate sacrifice so all mankind might hope for a better world. Thank you so much for being here today. That's the conclusion of the service.
This has been live coverage of the Memorial Day service from the Courthouse Square in Kennett, Missouri. The following sponsors make our live stream broadcast possible: Glenn Sane Motors, the Law Office of Todd and Atwill, Darren Todd for Circuit Judge, Nick Darter for Dunklin County Sheriff, Joe Bryant for Pemiscot County Sheriff, David Greer for District 1 Pemiscot County Commissioner, Billy Joe Stanfield for Pemiscot County Sheriff, Powell Funeral and Cremation Services, Rob Mayer, Circuit Judge, 35th District, and by Family Automotive in Kennett. This broadcast has been a production of Pollock Broadcasting Company.